Good morning, Cedar Park High School. It's Friday, October 30th, and it's an A-Day. I'm Ella Neal.
And I'm Abby Martinez.
Today we have a story over Halloween this year, information about Yearbook, how you can join Key Club.
The top 3 things you need to know for today. Luke Johnson and Katie Whitmarsh are in studio for an all-new sports report.
Plus, your pet of the week. Let's jump in because the Wolfcast starts now. With the holiday season finally among us, the familiar feeling of holiday cheer and the partaking in seasonal festivities are sure to excite students and staff alike.
However, there are numerous risks that must be accounted for during this time of celebration. Reporter Chance Gates has more details on the story and the precautions you should consider taking during the pandemic.
Thanks, Abby. COVID-19 has impacted day-to-day life for everyone and is sure to have a noticeable effect on how we celebrate our holidays. With Halloween being one day away, it is vital to properly prepare for interaction with others and to maintain social distancing. School nurse Tarajo Frost emphasizes the importance of staying safe during this time to avoid a spike in coronavirus cases.
So the question is whether you're going to be wearing your mask or not. So yes, you should be still wearing a mask this year because as we've seen in the last week, things are really starting to spike back up again. So we kind of have to pay attention to that.
As far as hazards and safety regulations, the CDC advises to limit large indoor gatherings, avoid contact with heavily touched surfaces, and to keep 6 feet apart from anyone outside of your immediate family. Be sure to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer when going out, especially if you're handling lots of candy. It's also important to note that Halloween masks don't properly protect you or others as well as medical masks, so bring one to wear under your Halloween mask. Because of COVID-19, Halloween is sure to look different from years past. Many people, like Ben Verhoff, have predictions about what might differ from previous Halloweens.
Probably a lot more people with their front porch lights off. People are still going to be, answering the door and passing out, prepackaged treats to kids, just like any other year. So hopefully it's closer to normal.
While COVID symptoms do tend to be less severe and prevalent in younger people, it's still very important to wear a mask and maintain
Abby,
a distance
do you
of
have any
6 feet
Halloween
from others to
plans?
keep
I'm
everyone
touring to
safe
San
and
Antonio
healthy.
for a dance convention.
Whatever your plans for tomorrow night
well,
are,
probably
it's
for the
important
best
to have a
since there's
fun
probably
and
not
safe
a lot to
Halloween,
do
and
this
to
year,
make
you
sure
know?
that we're
Yeah, I
all
gotta stay
following the
safe.
proper guidelines
It's no
so that
surprise
next
that
year it'll look a
COVID-19
little
has
more
brought
like
changes to
normal.
how most electives operate here at CPHS, and the yearbook staff is no exception to that. Putting together the yearbook is normally a very hands-on and in-person experience, and due to virtual learning and social distancing, the staff has had to adapt to begin working on this year's edition. With only 5 or 6 full-time in-person students and a handful of staff members that can come in person to work when needed, designing and beginning to construct the yearbook has been different this year. Junior Tristan Hernandez says that the staff has been working extremely hard to ensure this year's yearbook quality.
It's a lot different this year because of coronavirus and like how we're getting information, how it basically works. Like it's harder to get our interviews done. It's harder to get the pictures and the content that we need and like reaching out to students, which is what the yearbook basically is. So as a staff, we have to we're working a lot harder digitally to get all the stuff in, and we are changing the layout of the yearbook, and we're just trying to make it all work.
Given how different this year has been compared to the conventional school year, this yearbook will surely be one to get.
A student-led high school organization is volunteering by doing community service right here in Cedar Park. Jackson Strait, the president of the club, shared what it's all about. Joining Key Club in his freshman year, Strait fell in love with the club and has been involved with it ever since. Participating in service acts such as reading to dogs and helping out at Texas food banks are some of the things Jackson has done. Although you don't need hours to join Key Club, once you're in the club, you are expected to do 8 hours of community service per semester.
Key Club specifically is really accessible to a lot of people. It's not like NHS where you have to have a super high GPA and all this stuff. Like you can just join, and I think that's good in a way because anybody who wants to do service should just be able to do service. I don't think you should have to jump through all those hoops. I just think it's really fun to just go out with a couple of friends and do some service and mess around, and then in the end, if it's productive, you leave it feeling like you've done an impact.
If you're interested in Key Club, the meeting dates are at 8:05 a.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of every month.
Up next, Preston Scott is here with the top 3 things you need to know for today.
Smoky Moe's Barbecue, the best barbecue that money can buy. Proudly supporting Cedar Park High School.
Welcome back, Cedar Park. This is Preston Scott with the 3 things you need to know today. First, Hurricane Zeta leaves rescue and emergency teams sorting through its damage. It first made landfall in Louisiana on Wednesday afternoon as a strong Category 2 storm. Zeta brought powerful winds up to 110 miles per hour through the coast of Louisiana, where more than 2 million people are now without electricity. Next, the FBI is warning of an upcoming cyber attack on hospitals. They have credible information of a threat for cybercrime to U.S. hospitals and healthcare providers. The FBI and other government agencies are speaking up to provide warnings to healthcare providers to make sure they take precautions to protect themselves from these threats. Finally, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback for the Clemson Tigers, has tested positive for COVID-19. Clemson coach Dabo Swinney said this past Thursday night that Lawrence is in isolation with mild symptoms. Lawrence will miss Clemson's game Saturday against Boston College. He could also potentially miss games against number 4 Notre Dame and Indiana on November 7th. That's all I have for today. With CPHS News, I'm Preston Scott. Back to you guys.
A cybersecurity threat. I mean, that is kind of scary.
That just sounds scary. I don't even know
I
exactly
don't even
what that
know
is.
what it is either. But
Especially
I mean,
in hospitals, like
in
especially
hospitals,
with
yeah.
COVID and everything. I think that's
They definitely cannot have. At least they know about it.
Yeah, that
up
they
front
know.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they've
that's
been warned
definitely
about it.
interesting.
Yeah. Thank you, Preston. Now let's throw it over to Luke Johnson and Katie Whitmarsh for your sports report.
Hello, Cedar Park, and welcome back to the Wolfcast Sports Report. I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh.
On Tuesday, the volleyball program faced Marble Falls in once again a one-sided affair.
That's right. The now 11-3 Lady Timberwolves sweep the competition in 3 sets, winning 3-0.
This brings their winning streak into the double digits category with 10 straight games won. Excellent job, girls.
Their next game will take place today against what Coach McLaughlin says is a very competitive Leander team.
The game will take place at the Timber Dome and start at 6:30, so show up, show your Timberwolf pride at what is going to be a really good game.
Absolutely. They will also play at Saturday at 12 against Rouse in a very exciting Halloween game. Good luck, girls.
Although we're going to miss Friday Night Lights tonight, next Friday is going to be a treat.
Not only is our football team going to be facing up against Leander,
but Friday is when our girls basketball season starts with a game against Temple.
I must say, as a social media manager of the girls basketball team, I'm very excited for what Coach Ott has in store for this team, given how they performed last year.
Same here, Katie. Well, that's all we have for you today. With CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Luke and Katie. Up next is your pet of the week.
But first, this break.
We are not just here to share announcements. We're here to tell stories. Your stories. Students depend on us, and what they need from us is to be hyped, to be ready, to be informed, to be successful, to be Timberwolves. We are real news. We are sideline reporters, moment capturers, question askers, life sharers, cheers spreaders, and voice givers. And above all, we are students just like you, here to help you. We are journalism, newspaper, yearbook, and broadcast. We are CPHS News.
This is Emma Jamil's cat, Gilbert. He's about 5 years old, but still has the energy of a kitten. Gilbert loves drinking water straight out of the bottle and is ready to play with strings and hair ties. When Gilbert isn't trying to eat your food, he likes to take naps on the couch. That's all we have for today. Make sure you're keeping up with all of our content, so head over to our YouTube at CPHS News.
Make sure to catch a show on Monday for a story over how people are getting their driver's license through ACEable. Your top 3 things. Luke Johnson and Katie Whitmarsh will be in studio with your sports report and a new scholarship of the week. With CPHS News, I'm Abby Martinez.
And I'm Ella Neal. Remember to make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Have a safe and fun Halloween.